thank you for tuning into this video. Today I decided that it might be kind of fun to see how many Halloween costumes I can make out of entirely plain t-shirts. So I have a couple of ideas. I'm only going to make about 3 of them because, you know, I'm on the broke side. But I'm going to be giving you an idea for pretty much any colored t-shirt you can have in your closet. And the ways to decorate, we can do felt. You can just cut it out and sew it on if you want to be able to, say, reuse your t-shirt again. That's a really good option. Another option that there is to use iron-on transfer paper. Mine came out a little wonky. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot, but all you need to do is just iron it onto your t-shirt and you have a permanent design. And the last option, and probably the simplest, would be to paint the designs on yourself. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to be working on this red t-shirt. Obviously I messed up my printing. Make sure you're printing at best quality so that you don't get these weird lines on your images, but all you're going to do is iron that on to a t-shirt. I'm using the Incredibles logo, and I'm also going to make a little bit of a face mask out of this felt scrap that I have here. So I'm going to make a shape kind of like this. I'm actually going to fold it in half and cut the shape, that way it's the same on both sides. It's a little wonky, but it's just for a demonstration. After picking what side I like, I'm going to go in and just cut out my eye holes. And there we have it. I tried flipping it around a couple different ways to see which way I maybe liked it best, or which side was maybe the least jaggedy. I ended up going this way, and all you're going to do at the end is tie some string or some ribbon to the end so that you can tie it around your head. And there you go. Add some black gloves and suddenly you are a member of the Incredibles team. Pardon my awkward modeling. My next idea is an orange t-shirt idea, and all you need for that is similar to the last one, a blue mask and blue gloves. Can you guess who I'm going to be for Halloween? It's Swiper. Just a different idea. Another one using a yellow t-shirt is actually pretty simple and pretty expected. It can be customized to whatever you want. Just add an emoji face to the front and suddenly you get to be your favorite emoji for Halloween. This next one I'm going to do is Plankton from Spongebob. So I'm actually going to be taking some black pipe cleaner pieces that I've cut up and a solid pipe cleaner that I've just bent in the middle and adding these kind of pieces to it, twisting them around to make the antenna. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to take that big folded antenna piece and wrap it around just a spare black headband I have laying around. And you can get one of these from Dollar Tree or Walmart, wherever you find them cheapest. Lastly, I'm going to put a little Plankton eyeball on my green shirt, where my cat has decided to sit so adorably. And suddenly you're Plankton. Now onto the blue shirt, I'm going to be doing probably the easiest one, which is just a plain black stripe through the middle. Make sure you sew through and through. Great couples or group costume idea, really. And I'm Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls. I went with Bubbles just because I'm blonde and it seemed to fit a little bit better, but you can obviously do red with a bow in your hair for Blossom, or green if you want it to be Buttercup. Next, I have a purple shirt idea. Does anyone remember the member berries from South Park? Well, I remember. So my idea is to put the member berry face onto a purple t-shirt, maybe add in a purple beanie for effect, and you get to be a member berry. One of the easiest ones in this is the pink t-shirt. Honestly, all you need is just that, and you can be Boo from Monsters Incorporated. If you really feel like torturing your head, you can probably get some of these things and wear those as well. Next, I have a black t-shirt idea. All you need for this one is a black bunny mask, which you can get off of Amazon, and I would say some thigh-high socks, or if you have boots, all the better, and you can be Ariana Grande. My last idea is one of my personal favorites. Add 3 black holes to the side of your white t-shirt, and you can be 3-Hole Punch Jim. Thanks so much for watching today. I really hope you enjoyed some of these ideas and that it gives you some last-minute ideas for going through Halloween this year. I want to start doing this every year for Halloween because I thought it was so much fun and I have so many more ideas. So feel free to like and subscribe, and maybe I'll be seeing you next time. Bye-bye. Welcome back to another video. If you were not aware, it's October, which means it is with as many ideas for last minute Halloween costumes as I possibly can. I already have a pretty good idea about what I want my actual Halloween costume to be, and I will be making a video about that coming up as I sort of get all my pieces coming in before I start assembling. For today, I thought I would continue a series I mentioned I would start last year called Plain T-Shirt Halloween Costume Ideas. So I have taken a single color of Halloween costume, well, a single color of each. I've done one of each color. All the way through the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink, black, and white, so that any plain t-shirt that you have somewhere in your closet can become a Halloween costume for the day. So let's get started. The first Halloween costume that I have in mind is for a red t-shirt. With the red t-shirt, you could pop on a simple pair of bear ears at the top of your head in a yellow color, and maybe add a honey pot for effect, and you can be Winnie the Pooh. For orange, I have a Fred Flintstone idea. So all you would have to do is simply take some black spots all over the orange t-shirt, a raggedy piece of blue felt or a blue tie or something tied around your neck. And if you were really feeling like going all out, you could definitely do the dark hair, but that is a very simple Fred Flintstone costume. For yellow, I went pretty simple, and this is going to be a very classic and one I'm sure you've seen a lot, but pineapples, very, very easy to do. I think this one's really a little bit more fun than doing, say, another kind of fruit, because there is wonderful headpiece potential there. So you could take a couple of strips of green cardstock or poster board or anything that you want, and just sort of create a headband piece that looks like the sprouting bits of your pineapple piece, and simply take a marker or felt pieces of little V's all over your yellow shirt, and that should give you your pineapple effect. The next idea I have is for green, and for green, very simply add a beautiful serif script M to the front of your t-shirt, and you can be the green M&M. If you really wanted to kind of add that weird chocolate sex appeal vibe that they have going for her on all the commercials, you could definitely add the white boots too. For the blue t-shirt, I'm thinking some simple darker blue spots all over, and another set of headpieces, ears this time, some dangly blue ears with matching spots, and that is a very easy Blue's Clues costume. Next is purple, and I'm really excited about this one, though I don't know if my younger audience is totally gonna get it, but simple purple outfit, and either a white or a silver rectangle somewhere in the middle, like that, and another headpiece made out of purple pipe cleaners in the shape of an upside down triangle, kind of pouncing off. It's the Teletubby. I don't totally remember what the purple Teletubby's name is. It's Tinky Winky. You can be Tinky Winky for Halloween. I mean, honestly, what more could you want? The next one I have is actually something I was really thinking about doing this year for Halloween, but I ended up kind of going for something a little different, specifically since I wanted something relatively school appropriate and recognizable so that I could go and teach on Halloween in my costume. And that is Edna Mode from The Incredibles. I know I did The Incredibles last year, and that's kind of where I started getting this idea. Not to mention I've always just kind of wanted a short black wig, but do the short black wig, the big black frames, and simply wear the black outfit as a dress because, you know, high fashion, darling. And I bet you can pull that off pretty well. Alright, moving on to the last couple of costumes, we have the white t-shirt, and for the white t-shirt, very simply, take some paint or felt pieces once again, and attach a diamond or heart or spade or club to the center of your shirt, and some numbers on either side, and you can very simply be an easy playing card. And finally, the last one, the pink one. I thought this might be a cute idea for a best friend's costume or a couple's costume, but to go with our Winnie the Pooh costume earlier, we could do Piglet. Very simply, you can take some black string, or if you wanted to kind of just paint it on, if you have that kind of steady hand. I don't think I do, but add some simple lines across, and once again, a headpiece with some ears, and that would be a really easy felt project as well. If you want some more guidance on how to make certain headpieces, you can see a pretty good idea of how I've done that in the past with this right up here. That is my Daisy Halloween costume I did a couple years ago, and I made her little crown out of felt and an old headband, and yeah, I think that might be all that I have to say today. Stay tuned if you want to see what I'm going for as Halloween this year. That'll be coming up either next week or the week after. I haven't totally decided. I think it's going to depend on when my pieces come in and exactly how long it takes me to put the whole thing together, because it's going to be a little bit more sewing heavy this year, I think. So with all that said, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, feel free to stop by again next Sunday at noon for another Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I am going to be continuing a series that I've had on my channel for, I guess this is the third year now, in which every Halloween, which by the way, my favorite time of the year, I'm so excited to show you some of these DIY ideas. It's DIY Halloween costumes out of only plain t-shirts. So these are ways to take plain t-shirts and dress them up a little bit to make them more appropriate for a kind of a last minute Halloween costume idea. I know that there are a lot of us who have all these big ideas all year, and when the time actually comes, it's like they all suddenly leave our minds. I actually have a whole Amazon list of just Halloween costume ideas so I don't forget them for the next year. Now, last week is when I did my big Halloween costume for this year, and this week, with only 6 days now until Halloween actually happens, it seems like the right time to publish a last minute Halloween costume. Now, some of these might be easier to have if you already have some supplies. Some of them should be doable even if you don't have certain supplies laying around, but I think I've got a good mixture of complex and not so complex ideas for you to be successful with a Halloween costume this year, even if it is last minute and made only out of a plain t-shirt. I like to get my plain t-shirts if I were to go for things like this from secondhand shops like Goodwill. I like to get them a little bit oversized. Usually I'll wear black pants or some sort of jeans with them just to kind of, you know, stay warm for the holiday. But yeah, I think I'm actually just gonna get started. Obviously, I am one person and I do not have enough people to give these Halloween costumes to, so in the interest of saving a little bit of money but still maintaining the ideas, I've actually created animated versions of all the t-shirts that you will see right here, which I will then magically turn into the costume idea so you can have a pretty decent visual, even though I will not actually be making these costumes for you today. If you are interested in some ideas outside of just these, I've, like I said, done one every year for the last 2 years, so you can check the iCards up here to see the other 2 installments of this. I'll be popping them in at random points in the video. So if you happen to have, say, a green t-shirt and the green t-shirt idea for this particular video doesn't quite suit your fancy, you still have 2 other options to look at up there. So with all that said, I think it's about time for us to get started. So let's start with our red t-shirt. I do 1 t-shirt in every color. So this year, I thought it might be kind of cute to do a red t-shirt, add some black polka dots to it, and then pop some pipe cleaners and pom-poms onto a headband and create a Ladybug costume. This would be really, really cute for depending on how out there you want to go with it. You can possibly add wings if you want to go to the dollar store. Sometimes they carry little elastic wings for kids that I find actually fit me pretty well. But this is a kind of super easy. You can add the dots with, you know, Sharpie, with fabric paint, acrylic paint. I've done felt even and just kind of done basting stitches to leave it on there for the night so that I can remove them and take them off. And you can easily just wrap some pipe cleaners around an already existing headband, or of course just kind of tie your hair up into a ponytail and then wrap pipe cleaners around your hair. Taking a step back, we have our orange t-shirt. Something super simple that you can do with an orange t-shirt, and specifically an oversized one. Add some black lines and boom, you are a basketball. Super easy. You can do this with a lot of different balls and shirt ideas, but this is the only ball I've got themed for this one. It's a little bit different. Plus, if you have some friends that are really into sports, they can all wear the jerseys, and if you don't know anything about those basketball players, if you're anything like me, then you can just go as the basketball and still kind of fit into a group theme. Speaking of group costumes, we are on to the yellow. This one lends itself super well to having a bunch of different of group costumes if you have like a large group of friends. For a yellow costume, you could easily, with some, once again, black paint or black felt, turn it into Pac-Man. I think this is a super fun idea because you can pretty much do any color and find some way to make this work Pac-Man style. All you would have to do for, you know, the ghost dudes is to add the eyes, of course, and actually just like cut the bottom of the t-shirt into like their little ghost bottom so that it gives it more of a look. But it's super easy to do with just a single t-shirt in multiple colors, and it's a super great and super easy group costume if you need something last minute for a bunch of different people. Alright, it is time for green. I always have so many good ideas for green, and it's always so hard to decide. But I think the difficult thing is there's so many different shades of green that I could go with a lime green or a dark green, and I tend to lean more dark green because I feel like you get more of that kind of color, or it's easier to find that specific color of green, a darker or like more even medium Kelly green, than it is to find the lime green ones. So I decided to go with a darker green idea again this year. And this one's super easy, and it only really requires some pipe cleaners and maybe some tissue paper. So if you have some white or even some sparkly pipe cleaners, if you're feeling wild, you can add some pipe cleaners into your shirt, glue them on, stick them through the fabric, whatever works, and you've become a cactus. And all you would have to do is add a headband with some tissue paper kind of glued onto the top of it, create a little bit of a flower, and give it a fun little cute look for the top of your cactus outfit. Next is blue. Once again, this is one with so many shades, it's very hard to decide what shade we're going to go with. This year, I decided to go with a dark blue, and this actually came from something that I was thinking about doing for the bright green t-shirt that ended up kind of getting morphed into this instead. With a dark blue t-shirt, all you would need to do is get a headband with some felt ears in green, a couple of green felt dots, maybe googly eyes, or maybe some felt depending on what you have, to create a headband in this general shape, and you can be one of the aliens from Toy Story. I think this one is super cute, and it can be as like dramatic or not so dramatic as you want. I think even if you maybe have some like ping pong balls laying around, I know you can get them in packs from the dollar store. Pop a couple of black dots on top of those and you have some three-dimensional eyes. I think this is a really cute one, and especially, again, this could work really well for multiple people, and it's not super time intensive to create. So that is my blue idea. And now, moving on from the two easiest, we are moving into the hardest, that is purple. I really don't know why purple is so hard, but it always is for me every single year. Purple has a tendency to get oddly specific or obscure, and this year is no different. This year, I thought it would be kind of fun to add some eyes to the front, create a fun little spiky hair headband out of felt, and you can be a Puffle from Club Penguin. I used to love Club Penguin so much, and I think that this is something that, again, can work for a lot of different colors, but purple is just so hard. I kind of had to grab onto whatever I could, and it's so hard to not just do grapes every year. So this year's unique idea is going to be the Puffle. Again, could be a really great group costume if a bunch of you got a bunch of different colors, and I think it'd be a fun little nostalgic reference for anyone who remembers Club Penguin like I do. And speaking of adding eyes and a cute little mouth to a t-shirt, we are on to pink, which is sometimes hard, sometimes not. This year I wanted to kind of go outside the box and do something a little bit different, and this year I thought something that would be super fun and super cute is Kirby. I think it's super easy to kind of add his little eyes into it, give him a little mouth, a little cheeks. It's a cute little game reference. Now that we're finished with the colors, it's time to move on to the basics. Let's start with black. I like doing black costumes because I think everyone has a black t-shirt in their house. This year for the black, I went pretty simple and 8-ball. So I think this one is going to be super easy. Obviously you can do this in like puffy paint or fabric paint or whatever. The only thing really it requires is a simple white circle and an 8 inside of it. And the best part of this is then you can go around and give people advice about their lives that they didn't ask for all night because, hey, you're an 8-ball, that's your job. And finally, last but not least, we have white. Now, to be fair, I don't think anything is ever going to top 3 Hole Punch Gym, but I'm still trying to find something creative to do, and this year, sticking with the playing game idea that we had from last year, in which I did a playing card, let's do something else super fun and game-like, and let's do dominoes. So obviously you can choose whatever domino you prefer. I didn't really have a preference. Part of me was like, oh, it'd be really cool to be like a die, like, you know, throwing die for like games or something, but you only have two sides, the front and back. I couldn't quite find the right way to make that design work. So we've got dominoes. That's where it went. Alright, you guys, those are all of my plain t-shirt costume ideas for this year. If you like this video, please like it. That way I know that you would like to see something like this again next year. I do plan to continue it. It's just getting more and more difficult to come up with ideas. It's very difficult to try to find something unique and creative every year to kind of add on to what I've already done. So if you have any ideas of something that you might like to include or that you think someone else could use this year, do throw it in the comments down below. I think it could be very helpful. Obviously, a lot of people are clicking on this because they need something last minute, so help each other out, share some information. I believe that is all I had for you today. If you like what you saw, feel free to like and subscribe. I put out new videos every Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and I'd love to see you here for the next one. Thank you again so much for watching, and I hope to see you then. Bye!